to do battle between the New York Jets and the Baltimore Ravens. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the... End zone for a touchback. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney. Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
And they'll run it here. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Now it's Darnold. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
A first carry for Trenton Cannon. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Detroit! Detroit! No. Check. Patriot! Patriot! Watch him now, Barney. Barney!
On 1st down, it's Darnold. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Back to throw, Darnold. That's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And they'll go on the ground. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Watch you now, Barney! Barney!
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man you can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
Now they'll run it on the toss. The tackle there by Richard Sherman.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Gone! 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 Gone!
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. Going right side here, and that's complete. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Jets take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Myers connects on the PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Now the punter, who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. Here's Khalif Raymond to return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They go back to Murray on first down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, You've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Avery Williamson there to make the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is third down. Play action. Now Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyus Bowser with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
The give to the fullback on the dive. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, after that pickup of a first down, I think some of the defensive guys are going to be looking over their coordinator and saying that was not in the scouting report. That went against every tendency most teams have. You don't usually hand the ball to your big guy in that situation. Sometimes you catch them by surprise.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. To throw on second down is Darnold. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Over!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on second down. Now Jackson on second down. He hits It's West underneath. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick West. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now it's Jackson. And the Jets defense making things difficult there. 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So 2 missed field goals for him now, and that's helped keep them with a big 0 on the scoreboard.
Well, it's not the only reason they have a 0. The offense has been bogged down a few times now, but it's certainly not helping the cause any at all.
Here's Darnold, and that'll be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Leopard! Over!
Now a first carry for the backup, Isaiah Crowell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Gone!
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Detroit!
On 2nd down, Jackson. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
And now out come the Jets. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Check number 6. Check number 6.
On 2nd down, Darnold. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st and 10, Darnold completes it to Kirk over the middle. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And a loose football, and the Ravens have got it. Some guys just have a knack for creating turnovers. He's got a little bit of that going. He forced a fumble last week, another one there.
And it just drives teams crazy because they realize that certain guys, as you said, have that knack, and they're trying to keep them away from the action, away from the ball. But the best ones have that overwhelming desire, that overwhelming need to get to the football and make it happen, and that he does.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. Now he's flushed out left. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
They go play action with Jackson. Flushed out right. And he'll get it out near the 35, right at the 34 here. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. On first down, Murray. And some room to roam now. And deep he goes into Jets territory before being taken down. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Jets on top. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Detroit!
Again, it's Murray. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And that is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Now a hit and a loose football. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
It's been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately, that spark got doused.
Yeah, and you call special teams the third phase, but you see here it can be the first phase sometimes.
That is so true, right? It can ignite it one way or the other, and boy, that didn't help them at all. Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run it with West. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
Man, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Flush to his right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking.
And now off to the races, down the right side, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Jets find a way to stretch their lead.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney. Gun.
Darnold down to throw. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Ravens taking the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Now a give. This is Murray. And he's got room. There he goes inside the 30. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. Buying time, nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Jets have recovered.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A play fake, and it's Darnold. Steps away. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open?
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Murray with a nice move. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well?
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Leonard Williams in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Patriot! Detroit!
Here's Jackson to throw. They'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Darquez Denard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Over.
And on the ground they go with a running back. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Rolling to his left. He's going to look deep now for left. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Jarvis Landry, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jets are going to add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. There aren't any speed limits out there, and off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Here's Jackson, and he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play. Back now in Baltimore. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Gun! No. Check, Patriot!
On third down, that's West. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Jackson. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. He's got it to West on the dump off. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10.
Three down.
Play action. It's Jackson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Hey. We got three down.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
34, eyes on 34.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And that's incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Jackson now. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. They'll run it now out of the gun. About 3 yards there to the 27.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Ravens on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, it's Jackson. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not. And he lost the football, and the Jets have recovered, and they're not able to convert on 4th down.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10. So following the fumble recovery, here's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Watch two.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line. Able to pick up a healthy chunk of yards, 7-yard gain, but a tough 3rd and 9 upcoming.
Good! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Darnold. He's going to air one out. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. After the interception, here's Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Tyus Bowser in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Throwing is Jackson. And now he'll tuck it and run. And a great move again. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Out to his left. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Detroit!
Now Jackson on 2nd down. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Jackson from the shotgun. It's complete to Snead. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing. But I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Leopard!
On the give, this is their fullback. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
All right, now, look at 56.
Now Darnold. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. This is taken at the 18. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've lost this something here at the end just to take into next week.
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short game when he took off running.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Darren Lee in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now Jackson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game.